All right, let's get real here. You've heard me say countless times, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Now, that's not my quote. I borrowed that from someone, but I get feedback all the time saying, yeah, that hard work, you got to work hard, but you got to have some talent. You got to have some kind of knowledge, some type of hockey IQ. And I agree 1000%. Because oftentimes, athletes, and I've run into them all the time, which is really heartwarming, when they are working their butt off, man, they are giving it absolutely everything they've got. But without having that hockey IQ, without understanding the game, I still don't trust those athletes to put them in key game situations. So that might be where your athlete is. They're working extremely hard. They're giving it all they've got, but they're still not getting the ice time. Why? Well, we're going to talk about that today, so make sure you tune in. Welcome to Warrior Confidence Hockey with Coach Rich Grogan, the show that helps hockey parents, coaches, and players build confident, disciplined, and accountable leaders to earn more ice time, take on leadership roles, and lead with integrity both on and off the ice. So buckle that chin strap and let's get after it. Greetings, champions. Master Coach Rich Grogan here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so very much for joining me today on the Warrior Confidence Hockey Podcast, which is the ultimate coaching playbook for helping your athletes stand out, get noticed, gain the ice time, the respect, the leadership roles that they desire, that they crave, that they want the most. And of course, this podcast is for the hockey community. It's for players, parents, coaches, organizational leaders. Now, I realize that most players don't listen to podcasts. I encourage you to share this with them because a lot of times it's a similar, if not the same message as you're saying, but it's coming from a different voice. And organizational leaders, hey, we'll talk about more as we move through here, but I've got all kinds of programs for your organization to help your teams excel and reach that next level. Because the truth of the matter is, most teams and organizations don't fail from lack of skill or talent. They fail from parent drama, lack of accountability, lack of work ethic, lack of discipline, and poor communication skills on all sides. So I can definitely help you with that. Well, today we're talking about, this is episode number 398. Yoo-hoo! Closing in on 400, baby. And it's why hustle isn't enough. What coaches are really looking for. Well, right now, we talked about it last time, the NHL playoffs are going on. The best time of the year. NHL playoffs, baby. Yes! Why? The intensity is amplified tenfold. The grit, the resilience, the determination, the heart, the passion, the work ethic. I like to say the heart of a warrior, mindset of a champion, attitude of excellence, and work ethic of an underdog are all on full display. Because all the teams have made it to the dance, right? We've made it to the playoffs. Yes. Well, what's it going to take to get to that next level? What's it going to take to get to the second round, then the third round, and then playing for the Stanley Cup? What's it going to take? Well, your athlete, what's it going to take for them to maybe make that next rec select team, make that travel team, make that high school team, maybe be JV or varsity, or get those leadership roles, get those key game minutes? What's it going to take? Well, hard work, yes. And I said it before, and I'll keep saying it. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. That is a key component. But just simply working hard, skating around like a maniac, but not reading the play, not anticipating the play, not knowing what to do with the puck when you get it. Well, working hard's half the battle. The hockey IQ is that second half that needs to be applied in order to gain that trust. Because, yeah, I'm going to put hard workers out there, but I also, especially in key game situations, we've got to put players out there we can trust. Players that aren't just going to turn the puck over. Players that aren't just going to randomly ice the puck or turn the puck over in the neutral zone or turn the puck in the offensive zone or turn the puck over, the worst, at that gray area. 5 foot inside and outside the blue line. Yeah, I call that the danger zone. Matter of fact, a lot of times I get the whiteboard out. What's this area? Danger zone. Do not turn the puck over here. And I'm sure you've shared it with your athlete and with your players all the time on why not to do it, is because the transition game. You got all you guys moving forward. You turn the puck over inside or outside the blue line. The defensive team's coming out. They got a head of steam. Dump that puck in deep, go to work. Like I talked about the hockey IQ. And my homework assignment that I give players all the time, and please feel free, and I'm sure most of parents and coaches already do this, is to watch hockey games. And right now, playoff hockey is the best time. Because one small mistake, one little turnover, puck's in the back of your net. Or you miss an opportunity because you weren't ready for it. You turned your back to the play instead of pursuing the play. One small mistake could be the difference between not only winning a game, winning the round, advancing to the next round, or winning or losing a Stanley Cup. Now, I know players are listening right now. Your whole goal is just to make that next cut, which is my goal with every player, every parent, every coach, every organization I work with, is to help them excel to that next level. They've got to do the work. And the physical work, working out in the gym, working out on the ice, off ice, all the little things we talk about in every single episode, like the last episode, episode 397, I talked about that 1%. And I talked about that compound effect of that 1%. And I borrowed part of a book from Jeff Olson called The Slight Edge, the compound interest of 1 penny doubled every single day, what that turns into. Now, if you haven't listened to that episode, when you're done here, make sure you listen to that episode and share. And, of course, like, subscribe, ring the bell, all those good things to be a part and never miss an episode. But that 1%, talking about every day try and do 1% more than you did the day before. So today, you're going to be 1% better than you were yesterday. Tomorrow, you're going to be 1% better than you were the day before today. Each day, 1% more, 1% more, 1% more. I like to talk about it's like a train gathering up speed, getting out of the terminal, chugga, 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 chugga. Takes a little bit to get that train going. But once that thing's going, man, that freight train, whoo, that becomes almost unstoppable. And depends on the speed, but a train can take anywhere from a mile, 2 to 3, sometimes 4 to 5 miles to slow down and stop because that's so much momentum going. Well, that's that power of, I like to say, that 1%. Well, we talk about work ethic, extremely important. But if there's no hockey IQ to go along with that, you just got players running around haphazard, turning the puck over. That's not a formula for success. I tell you, growing up, I was always one of the smaller guys on every team I played on. You've heard this story before. Work ethic was my key. I grew up poor on a farm, so I'm literally hand milking a cow at 9, 10 years old, baling hay, shoveling horse poo, breaking ice in the wintertime so the horses and cows and other farm animals could have water, using a big old sledgehammer to break the ice in the water trough there, carrying buckets of water when the hose was froze. So work ethic was never a problem. And Coach Young tell me, look, you're always going to be a small guy. And to be honest, you don't have the most athletic ability or talent. You got some, but you're going to have to stand out with work ethic. So all I did was skate my butt off. But didn't have a whole lot of hockey IQ when I was younger. I didn't even heard of that word before. And then I had another coach come along and said, look, hockey IQ is anticipating what you're going to do when you get to the puck. So that means when you're working hard, this same message I just shared in the locker room the other day, is skate hard to the puck. But before you get to the puck, you're glancing over your shoulder to know if somebody's bearing down on you, to protect yourself, to get crushed in the boards, to round out the boards. Also, you're looking for options. You're looking, when I get to the puck, what am I going to do? Because if you wait till you get the puck to look around, at the speed of the game, and especially you're watching the NHL, and players, I'm talking to you, make sure you're watching. They're going to look over their shoulder, do a head check before they go to the puck. One, to see if someone's bearing down, to see how much time they have to protect themselves, like I said, to round the boards out. But it's also to see, where are they going with the puck? Are they going down low? Are they going back up to the point? Where's my breakout? Where are my options? Therefore, when you get to the puck. Because sometimes you'll see players like, how the heck did he see him? How did he make that pass? Well, it's because he looked over his shoulder, did a head check before he got to the puck. So work hard to get to the puck. Second thing, go, and this is so simple, but it was something, like I said, when I was younger, I just didn't get, and a lot of players just don't get it. So that's why we remind them, go to where the puck's going to be. So if the puck's being rimmed around the boards, don't try and chase the puck. Go to where it's at. Go to where it's going. It makes sense. And another thing, all the goals, and I've been around the game, I've been blessed for almost, 50 years now. 95% of every goal I ever scored was right in front of the net, getting in the dirty areas, getting the tar beat out of me by big, tall defensemen twice my size, but having the grit, the resilience, the work ethic, determination that you can't beat me. This is my puck. I'm burying this puck. And, of course, I didn't score every single time I touched the puck. That's unrealistic. But 95% of my goals were right there in front of the net, doing the hard work. Why? That's where the puck, that's where the intention's going, right? The puck is going to the net. You got to put the puck on net in order to score. Well, go to where the puck's at, right? Yeah, crashing hard to the net. And then being smart, obviously, and finding that open ice. That's that hockey IQ. And, of course, never stagnant. You're always moving, always trying to find that soft spot, that open ice. And then on the defensive side, you're closing that ice. You're not giving the opposing team any room to breathe, any room to move. You're closing it off. But once again, hockey IQ, and this is something we just shared, and that's where I get all this content. It's the stuff I share with the players all the time. If they're in the corner or behind the net, they're not going to score from back there. Cut off their options. Keep them trapped back there. They can stay back there all day long if they want. Now, of course, if you're losing, you got to be a little more aggressive in order to get the puck because they're going to eat the clock. But once again, game situations, knowing the score, knowing the situation, knowing what line's out there. And some of you might be saying, holy cow, that's a lot for a teenage athlete. Well, is it? 1%, that little extra, developing that hockey IQ. You can get that by simply watching, observing playoff hockey, how fast that game is, watching the little things, watching your player out there, seeing what they're doing. And I know the camera follows the puck, so sometimes it's hard to see behind the play if you're watching on TV, but watch, how does that player get back so fast? How are they there? How are they always in the right spot? How are they always getting shots off? Watch how they do it. And then when you're on the bench in your own games, make sure you're watching. You're watching the player that's playing your position on your team, because if he's second line or first line, you want that line. That's healthy competition, but you're going to push him or her to be even better, and you're going to get rewarded because you're learning. But just as important, you're watching the opposing player, watching their tendencies. And for goalies out there, study. The tendencies of the shooters. Is this guy a shooter? Is this guy a passer? Is this guy going to come in and try and deke? What are their tendencies? Right-handed coming down the left side or left-handed coming down the right side? Are they going to go to the backhand? What are they doing? That's developing that hockey IQ. Hard work, extremely important, but don't forget about the mental hard work as well. And then the spiritual hard work. Spiritual hard work is your attitude, your determination, your willingness to give it all you got, to not settle for just good enough. No. Good enough will never be good enough. I mean, I guess it will if you're content with just, say you're a JV player and it's good enough. Well, okay, that's good. I'm happy you made JV. I want more for you. Your parents want more for you. Your coaches want more for you. My whole goal with anybody I've ever worked with, whether it be a player, parent, organization, is to help them get to that next level. Kind of my, if you will, humble, I say this with the utmost humility, is my superpower is to see inside someone's heart and fire, and I want to bring that out. Because a lot of times players lack confidence. You know, a good majority of players don't fail because of lack of skill or talent. They fail because of lack of confidence, lack of belief in themselves, lack of work ethic or accountability. You know, a line I use a lot is that $400 stick isn't going to do a player a darn bit of good if they got 1 cent worth of confidence or 1 cent worth of work ethic either. Because, I mean, I know parents for their players spend thousands upon thousands of dollars for on-ice and off-ice coaches, which is important. I encourage that. But those thousands of dollars you spend aren't going to do a darn bit of good if their mindset, attitude, and work ethic aren't worth anything. They got to have those first in order to push and drive. And that kind of leads into my book, How to Get More Ice Time. A champion's playbook, winning with integrity on and off the ice. How to get more ice time? That's what every player wants, right? More ice time, more leadership roles, to be put in key game situations. But the book itself is how do you get more of anything you want in life? How do you get more success? How do you score more goals? How do you get better grades in school? How do you become more successful in life? How do you win with integrity on and off the ice? Well, the concepts are the same. Respect, work ethic, communication, and leadership skills. Boom. That's it. It's universal. The truth is, and you know this, may know the exact statistic, but less than 0.05% of anybody that steps on the ice is going to play pro. Now, that doesn't mean you give up on your pro dreams. I want you to play the absolute highest level of hockey possible. I never made it to the NHL. It was crushing, but it just wasn't meant to be. A lot of injuries added up. I wasn't the most naturally gifted to begin with. I played at a far higher level than my natural ability or height, stature, and size should have allowed. And I'm sharing those same things with you. I want you to make that. If JV is your goal, make JV. If varsity is your goal, varsity. If you're a goalie, you want to be a varsity starter, to make that. To make D3, DT, D1, D2, whatever. Play in the ECHL. My goal is for you to play at the highest level possible. But you got to put in the work. The mental, spiritual, and physical work. You got to do it. And I gave an example in the last podcast Look, a dog chasing his tail is working extremely hard. I mean, it is spinning around in circles, panting when he's done. And if a dog catches his tail, what's it do? Drops it and thinks, oh, I'll do that again. Well, at the end of the day, maybe he's caught his tail, maybe he hasn't, but what has he really accomplished? He wore himself out just chasing his tail. So get out there and work your butt off, yes, but smart. Don't just skate around like a madman with no intention. I mean, yeah, you want to grind, especially in the playoffs. You're working hard. Those grinder lines, dump the puck in, get in on the forecheck, hitting the body, hitting those defensemen hard where they're turning over the puck quicker and quicker because they don't want to hit. Work hard, but have a game plan. Develop your hockey IQ. Because I'm telling you, you want those key game situations. You want late in the game. Either you're winning by a goal and you got to preserve that lead, or you're losing by a goal and you got to grind it out and try and tie the game up. But you got to have trust. The coach has to trust you that when they put you out there, you're not just going to make crazy errors. Now, we all make mistakes. That's all part of being a human. Something we talk to the boys all the time about. Look, if you continuously make the same error over and over and over and over again, it's no longer an error. It has now become a choice. You have chose not to improve. You have chose not to think. You have chose not to develop your hockey IQ. So now you've made a choice to keep turning the puck over. And guess what? Then you make the choice for us that you're going to have to sit on the bench. Can't put somebody out there we can't trust. So work hard, yes, but that's one small part of the equation. I talked about in the last episode that 1%. That 1% is work ethic. But it's also developing that mindset, positive mental attitude, that hockey IQ, developing that grit, resilience, and determination. And how can you do all those things? Well, I talked about reading, continuous, and to plant the right seeds in your mental garden. That's what develops your confidence and your belief in yourself. You know, you think about this. What you plant in any garden is what's going to grow. Well, your mind is the most fertile garden on the planet. You plant negativity, limiting beliefs, self-doubt. I always fail. I always screw up. I'm not good enough. I'm not big enough. I'm not tall enough. Oh, I guess I'm just a loser. Well, you plant that. Your subconscious mind is non-biased in any way, shape, or form. You plant that in there, that's what you're going to believe. And guess what? That's how you're going to perform. And people say, well, I don't want to lie to myself. I'm not saying lie. You're now predicting the future. I am going to be the best I can be. I am going to win this puck battle. I am going to get from the second line to the first line. I am going to earn leadership positions. I am going to earn game time minutes. You're telling yourself. Now, you got to go do the work. I like to say your attitude is the fuel that fuels the effort, intensity, drive, determination, and resilience to get what you want. And what do you want? You want ice time. I mean, that's the reason we play the game, right? Ice time, in order to be that leader, in order to be that hero. And of course, hockey, it's not me, it's not I, it's always we. We as a team. And if you screw up, hey, take accountability. That's why I love it so much. It's one of the only sports, I think it's the only sport in the world, where accountability, if you're a true champion, is all on you. And then you help the team get better. It's not like, oh, the team did this and the team should have played better. No. I should have played better. I should have stepped up. I should have won more faceoffs. I should have won more puck battles. I should have had a better attitude going in. I should have prepared properly during practice or before games. I should have got more sleep the night before. I should have ate, my nutrition should have been better. I shouldn't have ate that greasy food that upset my stomach. I should have done this better in order to help the team perform better. And when you win, it wasn't I that won. We won as a team. We played together as a solid 5-man unit in all 3 zones. We won the face-off. We won the puck battles. We did what we needed to do to clear the puck out. We did what we needed to do in the neutral zone to keep them from breaking in on odd man rushes. We did what we needed to do in the offensive zone, holding the puck in. We did what we needed to do in our defensive zone by protecting and helping the goalie, clearing rebounds, not leaving anything out front. We as a team. You want ice time? You want leadership roles? There it is. There's a secret recipe right there. Now, is that really a secret? Well, for some, it might be. But no, that's what makes hockey so wonderful. And, of course, right now, NHL playoffs. And here's the thing. 7 hard-fought games, if it goes to 7 games in the playoffs. These guys beat the daylights out of each other. They're out there, well, each shift, giving it absolutely everything they've got. And if they're not, They're not going to get any ice time, and they're not going to get dressed for the next game. That's for sure. So you can learn a lot from that. But after, if it's a 7-game series, 7 hard-fought games, what do? They shake hands at the end. The only sport in the world. I see that, and I still, to this day, get goosebumps. Why? That's the integrity of the game. That's what makes hockey the greatest game in the world. And the fact that you're playing it, or you're a parent or a coach, an organizational leader, listening, that you're a part of this, man, we got a golden opportunity to help raise the next generation of leaders. Can we do it? Yeah. Are we going to do it? I hope so. So as I mentioned, I know most players don't listen to podcasts. I encourage you to share this with them. And if you found something valuable in this, please share that. Now on YouTube, like, subscribe, ring that bell so you're notified of every new episode. Like I said, this is episode number 398. And I think we're closing in over 1,000 videos on YouTube as well, with shorts and everything else. And it's also available, this podcast, across all podcast platforms, so you can listen on your favorite podcast platform as well. Links to all that in the description box. My program for organizations, how to get more ice time. It's I call it the Ultimate Leadership and Accountability Program. What I do is I work with the teams, parents, players, and coaches. We go through the workbook. We have 4 Zoom calls, and we go through, get everybody on the same page to hold everyone accountable. The parents, players, coaches, and organizational leaders, you're all on the same page, committed toward the same goal. We review your code of conduct. We review parent behavior. We review respect, discipline, work ethic, communication, and leadership skills. Why? Because as I said before, most teams do not fail because of lack of talent. They fail because of parent drama, lack of accountability, poor work ethic, and poor communication. All that's solved. Talk to me. We'll talk about it. And what you can do is you can build it into the league fees. So it's all right there. And if you're an individual team that would just like me to come and we can do this, we can talk about that as well. The links are in the description box, or you can just go to our website, warriorconfidence.com. Just read at our website, brand new actually. So we got 2 sections, one for the players and parents, one for the coaches and organizational leaders. And parents, I've got something for you as well. Not only the book, and I'm blessed. If you're here in Florida, my book is now available in 3 different pro shops, at the Wesley Chapel location, at Ringside Sports, and at Brandon at TGH. It's where the Tampa Bay Lightning practice. And then it's also available at Ellington Ice Rink as well. So I'm very blessed. And if you own a pro shop and you want to carry my books, autographed copies, you can sell them in the pro shop. And well, it's a great, not only it's a win-win for all of us, right? The players and parents win because they get the book. You win because you make pretty good on the books. And then I'm able to get the message out as well. And we've got our quick start guidebook, which is part of our, we got a masterclass video for players. It's 45-minute Q&A. It's only $9. Links in the description box. Check out the masterclass. Answers all the questions, gives you little tips behind the scenes, and then a little order bump when you check out with the masterclass. You can buy the workbook, the program, the Audible version, and all those good things to help get your athlete to the next level. Good? All right. So, hey, here's the question. Are you going to do it? Are you going to help your athlete develop their hockey IQ? Are they going to watch playoff hockey? If you are, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not, well, I've done what I can do, right? Also, I love hearing your comments and feedback. Let me know what you think about the whole podcast in general, or if you've got some questions you'd like to ask here. Now, I know I come across my right hook of rally and left uppercut of truth, but I'm a human. I'm learning and growing as well. So if you've got something you want to share with me, please bring it on. Doesn't mean we're going to always agree on everything, but I'm an open book here, man. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to share what I've got, and hopefully you're willing to do the same. So drop those in the comments for me. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so very much for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it. If you like what you heard, please, we love those 5-star reviews on the podcast apps. And then like, subscribe, ring that bell. And like I said, share it with someone that you know you could find value. And check out our books and programs, warriorconfidence.com, and all the links are in the description box. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love. Share your greatness with the world. Continue to empower your athlete to believe in themselves, to be their very best, to become the hero, leader, and champion they were born to be. All right, till we talk again, you get out there and do your best, and I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. Can't wait to read your comments. Can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you again for joining me today on Warrior Confidence Hockey. If this episode helped you, then please share it with another hockey parent, coach, or teammate. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a positive review. And check out the links in the show notes to grab a copy of my book and the How to Get More Ice Time Masterclass for only $9 with the direct link. Also, be sure to join our Warrior Confidence Hockey Facebook group. Until next time, I'm Coach Rich Grogan, reminding you to stay strong, stay confident, and keep raising champions who lead with integrity both on and off the ice. Chat with you soon. Parents, are you frustrated seeing your superstars sit on the bench, getting overlooked and passed over for ice time and leadership roles? I personally know that heartbreaking pain. Well, that frustration ends today. Introducing our How to Get More Ice Time program, the amazing one-of-a-kind program for youth and teenage hockey players that helps them get what they want most, more playing time and more opportunities. And today, exclusive offer, we're selling this thing for only $9. $9. It's a no-brainer. But you got to act now because this offer won't last. And if you don't do anything, nothing's going to change. So go to warriorconfidence.com. That's warriorconfidence.com, or simply click on the link in the description box. Buy the program today and help your child get what they want most, more ice time.